with emotional dependence, past impression, our habits, impulses. Are you getting it? First, I acted erratically. So that is my behavior. So behavior comes from the attitude. So attitude is present in the mind. And the mind, if it is nourished and nurtured by all the crazy stuff of emotional dependence, it will result into what you are talking to me.
Yeah. And then also not being
Today's lesson, the summary of today's lesson is that every action that we perform does not mean that I'm taking a conscious decision to speak like this. First, so my behavior, if it is erratic or calm or peace, it depends on the impressions that has been accumulated in the mind for so many years. And those impressions trigger the mind to react in a certain situation. Then what it means, I'm not able to control myself. What it means, there is impurity in the mind. That is what we say, the impurity in the mind. And those impurities includes the desire for seeking pleasure from the world outside, caused by the strong likes and dislikes. If what I like is fulfilled, I want to repeat it. If what I dislike, I want to stop it. If it doesn't stop, those emotions trigger. And then I don't know if I'm behaving erratically at the moment I'm behaving it, but later on, then what happens? Then the mind keeps on thinking I should not have done it. You are further creating those impressions in your head.
Yeah.
You are further creating those impressions in your head. Second step, I have written only a couple of pages, but the second step, if I go on explaining the second step, it will not be even complete in 50 hours. It digs deep inside, and when you understand that deeply, why should I be angry? Let me play and let me have a play and fun. Thank you, my friend, for making me. You want to make me angry, but I'm not that type. Go ahead, continue. So that state always comes if my mind has replaced the impurities. It will not come otherwise. It is already hidden inside, of which I am unconscious. How do you know that you can become angry and reactive? Unless you become it.
Yeah.
And you don't know when you become angry.
So to release the impurities, is that the work that you and I are doing?
At the present, we are taking the second step. The karma yoga, the path of the karma yoga helps us to remove these impurities. At least, I think what happened, that incident happened for good, because now your mind is realizing the importance of the second step.
Yeah, I believe it was good. I mean, it was a good lesson.
So when you start thinking means you are consciously thinking. If I say you, my friend, that Put in your calendar. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. you should be angry. You will never become angry. Why? Because at 5 p.m. you will become aware of yourself. Aware means conscious. Conscious means conscious thinking. So anger is not a conscious approach. Anxiety is not a conscious happening. Fear of the known is also not a conscious happening. If I ask you, are you scared? Do you have a fear? No, you don't have it.
So what is, yeah, I know.
Yes. So what happens, yeah, I can give you hundreds of examples, but let me make it in a simple way. Our entire life is give and take. The mind gives to the world outside and mind receives. That is what the communication is, that is what the relationship is, that is what earning money is. That, don't forget, I have to ask you a personal question after this session, but not now.
Okay.
So give and take. Though both give and take takes place from the mind. You asked a question because you want to receive something, I answered it. So that give and take relationship at the subtler level is taking place all the time. First point. Second point. If I want to receive everything according to my whims and fancies, is it possible? No. I want to receive always what I like. I don't want to receive what I dislike. This never happens in anyone's life. I always want to receive being healthy all the time. Not possible. Body lives in a dynamic state. Second point. Third point. Understand by the points. I know you are a good thinker, and if you contemplate and reflect, it will make a sense. Anytime, the moment you wake up, the mind starts this journey of giving and taking, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. Even with the material objects, you wake up in the morning and first time you go to the restroom, and if the entire restroom is clean, good, you are receiving. That washroom is not saying that, see, look at me, how clean I am. Don't make it dirty. But your mind is receiving constantly. And mind is also giving consciously. But if you don't become aware of the cleanliness of the washroom, for example, I'm starting with the matter, then what happens? You are not aware that it's not clean. Oh, let me use this, let me use it. What will happen? After a few weeks, it will become the dirtiest. It will start smelling. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So even at the material level, am I on the receiving end? Am I aware that I'm giving? I'm giving a sense of idea of a cleanliness of the washroom. So what will happen? I have created an impression. I will not leave the washroom unclean. Now, I have not visited your house, so I cannot say anything. I take it for granted. No, don't say anything to me. No need to say. If it is clean, very good. If it is not clean, so now you have an idea, you will start cleaning it.
Yes.
Now come to the relations, interaction with the people. Now giving, I want to give to you something. So all the teachers of the Eastern wisdom, they always have a giving nature. That is very clear. And giving nature, what is giving? Knowledge. What is giving? Understanding. Without holding back anything. Now, another next point. If the giving nature has a negative attitude caused by the emotional dependence and attachment and personal preferences and the ego, it will backfire you. One example, I was just talking to a previous lesson, that with what attitude you are giving me the money. If your attitude, even while writing the check, you think consciously that this contribution I am making to evolve myself, it will create such a strong impression in your head, and that will remove the impurity of your mind. This is a very subtle way. I'm talking about our action defines our behavior and attitude, and why to change the mind. Now you see what you do. Go to the restaurant, you eat pasta. Oh, this is not good pasta, but I have to pay $40. Second time, now that impression is already created. Now you go to the second food store, third, and that impression keeps on continuing. If I get the food that I don't like, a sense of anxiety is already created in the mind. So two options now, the next point. So while giving something, whether I give this words, whether I give the money, whether I give any gift, whether I give anything, if the giving has two attitudes. One attitude comes from the unconscious, habitual, instinctive mind, and the other attitude, I consciously think and give. What is that conscious thinking and giving? I owe you. You paid me. I owe you so much. How maximum I should give you? I always think before every session, how maximum I can offer to my in every session. How maximum? In what possible way? So that the guy says, wow, I got it. Now what happens to me if I have that giving attitude in me? I have no fear, no duality. I remain full of energy. This is my fourth session today, 4 hours. Do you see that I'm feeling sleepy? We will do a session sometime. No. Only that attitude changes you. Giving attitude with an intention that how much I owe you and how much I should repay you. With that attitude, even to your employees, to your laborers. If you keep that attitude and do whatever work you are doing outside, it doesn't make any difference. That is one attitude. How much I owe you. And giving attitude done by the unconscious mind, the impurity of the mind, how much I should take from you. It's a consumer attitude. I want to consume everything. When I have a consumer attitude, it is you are going to drain your energy, I can tell you. You will have a fear, you will have an anxiety, you have a duality, you have a conflict. There is no way that you can get rid of it. Consumer results at those who do not follow the rules of the nation and the law, that consumer attitude makes you greedy. Greedy, by the greedy mind, you create a scam. By the scam, you are caught up. Result? You find yourself in the prison. See, find out, see that attitude. So when I double, it takes time. It is not a one-day affair. I tell you. You constantly, starting from the waking, you need, when you say, today, you wake up in the morning, you become aware of the sun. For example, at the material level, sun and the air and the space and the earth and the water. Because of them I exist. Because of them I exist. Sun does not send me the bills to my house. Water does not send the bills to my house. And I'm thankless to them. Why I'm thankless? Because I'm a consumer. And as long as I'm a consumer, I'm not conscious of it. So you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm thankful to you all. I'm thankful to the sun. I'm thankful to the air I'm able to breathe. Air does not send any bill to me. And I pollute the entire existence. Tell me all the 9 holes. From every hole, everything dirt comes. I'm polluting the entire existence.
Yeah.
So what happens when I see, when that attitude is there, I owe to you, sun, I owe to you, air, thankful. Even just you think it, that is enough. Why? Because that owing attitude starts dropping the impurities, starts dropping the consumer attitude. I have to think. I have to get emotional. Same way, I tell you. I remember in my life that I was a great rebellion to my parents and especially to my dad. And that backfired and I suffered for 10 years. People do not understand this. I owe to my parents because they gave me a birth. I am a human being. I can think. Don't go and say to them, but I am thinking. Thinking creates an attitude. And that attitude replaces my negative attitude. I have to think. If you think it is a one exclusive, isolated event that you became angry, no. It is the result of that consumer attitude which has been going on for so many years. We did not understand that. At least you see that you suffered after 24 hours. You created an unfavorable condition for yourself. You remain anxious for a couple of hours. What is this? This is known as the sins of religion. Sins is not living in the hell. I create sin in my life. I create virtues in my life. That is the secret of karma yoga. And I'm not saying that you should follow a religion, you should follow a cult, you should follow a dogma. Just understand it clearly. Instead of being a consumer, now I'm a contributor in every thought, speech, and action. You become a contributor. How? You become a giver. How? You first, your mind thinks that how much I owe to the entire existence. This body, this lips, this larynx cannot speak without the air and the water and the health state of the body. Forget about it. They come from outside. I'm taking it. I'm taking it 24/7. And I'm thankless to them. Because if you are thankless to the Phoenix municipality, They will say, okay, now go to the court, have someone pay the bills. They are not asking us. They are not asking us. We owe to, not only, we owe to everything. It is divided into five categories. First, all the material object, air, space, 5 elements. Then it goes to my parents, because parents and ancestors, if they are alive, I should find a way to thank. Then I owe. Why I say that I love my master? Because the moment I feel that I owe too much to my master, it means I am thankful to all the teachers in this tradition. And I'm thankful to the knowledge that is passed on to me. So, with that mind, now see that, yeah, for example, you don't listen to me and I'm giving the talk. What happens to me? Nothing. I will never challenge you that you did not understand. It's your outlook. I'm giving the best and the maximum which I can offer with my understanding. So when you start, that is the third one. And the fourth one, now you see, now I'll tell you the secret. That is the secret. You told me that, no, you're coming to house, no need to cook the food. I said, no. Whether you like it or not, we will offer you the food. Anyone who comes. With a pre-planning, if someone stranger drops into my house, then it is not possible. But anyone comes to the house, it has been in my tradition, my vow, that I must offer giving attitude. In America, if in America it is possible, no, I don't need anything. Then you forget giving anything to the guy. We ask again and again. Why? We owe you. You have come to my house as a guest. So that is another attitude that we should cultivate. And the fifth attitude, our contribution towards other living species and animals. You are having a pet, that's good. I always say that's good. That at least you are giving. This is the first step of the Karma Yoga. Why? Because that is going to change our attitude. So I told you, again I'm repeating, my action defines my personality, my behavior. So if I'm angry, this is my behavior. And behavior comes from the attitude in the mind. And the attitude in the mind has two options. One option that I carry forward, I become angry and agitated, and I blame and complain, and after a week, next week, you will forget it. You will forget this event. But mind is not going to forget it. Mind has already accumulated those impressions. It will trigger you anytime, and sometime that trigger may cost you wealth, your health. We don't see that. We don't see that. That guy might be happily sleeping and you continued that trigger in your mind even after 24 hours. You rightly said it happens. So that is one attitude. And now I'm consciously, just you think that I owe so much. In what way I'm grateful? In what way I should be contributing? Even emotionally, mentally, thinking mentally. Because you are thinking mentally, consciously, so it will take your other attitude. And what happens? You are doing it for weeks and months and years. Oh, you have changed. You are so calm. This guy is just crazy. Let him say. Who cares? That is the beauty of the karma. Karma means action. Yoga means attitude. I have explained it many a times. Perhaps today, because thanks to that guy, this incident happened. Because now I'm able to understand it clearly.
Yeah.
And repeat it. The moment that incident returns to your mind as a memory, you just say, oh, thank you. Imagine that guy, thank you very much. You have helped me to understand one more principle. Now see that what happens, you have a smile on your face.
It's true.
Eastern wisdom is not so easy to pick up. It takes months and years. And once you have understood it, and your mental habit is formed of being a contributor, being grateful in every situation, your mind changes from being a consumer to the contributor. What will happen? The mind thinks, speaks, and acts with the memory, likes and dislikes, with the past impression will disappear. What will happen then? No, but still someone agrees. You know how to tackle it because you are living in awareness. You are living in peace. In peace, you can tackle the situation much more effectively than triggered by the emotions. Another point, that when we are living with expectations means receiving, expectations means I am a consumer. I'm always thinking of receiving. Means what? Expectations. Means what? As long as mind is always thinking of receiving, it will always cause suffering, anxiety, duality, and a fear. Now go back. You explained to me a couple of times that I was walking my dog and then I was filled with a lot of fear because you are consuming without giving to the outside material world. If someone, you told me if someone, I remember. So because I have a tremendous consuming attitude and lot of expectations, it comes with its siblings. Fear, anxiety, duality, reaction. I want to give you a peace. I want to give you a relaxation. I want to give you a calmness. Even I'm thinking mentally, it works. It becomes a giving nature. And what I have to give? I'm an international beggar. I always want to give peace, happiness, love, and wisdom to everyone. So that attitudinal change brings down your sins. You earn merit, and that merit is expressed in your business, in your personal and professional life. You will never take a decision, which you told me it happened with one of your friends. You invested something and you started doing the business, and ultimately that guy you realized is not doing what he should or she should have done. Look at the consuming attitude. Look at the giving attitude. How to change the mind to give and accept? When we change our mindset about receiving and giving, do you receive from the world? Yes. What to receive from the world? Do you give to the world? What? I'm not saying you are giving in terms of the money and the clothes. No, I'm giving through my emotions and the feeling and the conscious thinking. Why I want that attitude? I want to minimize the impact of consuming attitude, which is caused by the expectations, duality, conflict, anxiety. And it's all in my head. You're not doing anything outside. Even I can tell you that you start thinking, pay respect mentally and emotionally, sitting in your house to your parents. Just do an experiment. I bet you. Do that experiment.
Do what?
Do just every day in the morning, you visualize your parents and you say that, you just say in your mind that I'm thankful and grateful to you That is why I'm living as a human being. I owe too much to you. I will always remain by the side of you. You simply think emotionally and mentally for a week, and after a week you go to your parents.
Okay.
And see what happens.
I know what will happen.
But if I live with continuous conflict, reaction, and then you go to the house, then see what happens. Because your mind is ready to react even if your dad says you something. Because I have a consumer attitude. I have a lot of expectations. That is what is karma yoga is. That is the step number 2. That karma is an action. What is an action? My thinking is an action. So I change first my thinking. Then I change my speaking. And then I translate that into my behavior. Motivation of this action that I do comes from the existence. How can I move my head? How can I move my hand? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, minerals. This is moving the hand.
Yeah.
I'm not thankful. I'm thankless to them. So that
I mean, the way
got it. I love you, you got it. But I should keep. Now see that there is a difference. Definitely you are grateful, you pay gratitude, but at the same time, now you understand how to change the mind.
Yeah.
With what mindset I'm talking to my dad, with what mindset I'm talking to my employees, with what mindset I'm talking to so-called my girlfriend, if you have it. Now, I don't know. So what is going to happen? Now you are not moving with that consuming attitude. You are still grateful that at least you met me. You are talking to me. Thank you. So that will keep your mind in the state of dispassion. And that will attract others to you. You need not to do anything. You know.
What does dispassion mean again?
Huh?
What does dispassion mean again?
Yeah, dispassion means you separated in your mind those thoughts and a feeling coming from the expectations. And instead you replaced it with a gratitude, a conscious thinking. Thank you. Thank you. So you met me. And it gives me a great opportunity to express the solution to you. So you are giving me an opportunity to speak. I'm grateful to you mentally and emotionally. So what happens? This becomes the primary motive. To focus on your challenges, the way you think, can I bring about a change? The money becomes a secondary.
Yeah.
And that is why I told you that I have relationship. I was a diplomat in Indonesia. And there I met Maria, who was also a diplomat in European Union at that time. I still have a relationship with her. 93. She is now in Spain. I have people with more than 30 years. They still come and talk to me. It is not because of me. It is because you are tuned with the existence. You rightly said, the way you said, yes, I should be thankful and gratitude. So you think consciously and mentally. See from the other perspective. Every thought, speech, and action Either it manifests by the emotional dependence, a consumer attitude, or a contributor attitude. You did talk about the Jesus, what Jesus did. Contributing attitude. Love is God. That's why I love you. He never said that I am God. He said, love is God. That's why I love you. That's why I have a mission. That's why I am grateful. He's sad to those who crucified him. They don't know what they are doing. You see the sense of kindness? And you became angry with such a small statement. When you say, many people say that, I love my religion. Oh, you don't love your religion. No. No. Unless you have that attitude which your God has, then you follow the religion. Otherwise, you may say, I'm non-religious. It does not make a sense. I'm a spiritual guy. It does not make any sense. You are behaving and saying the same thing. So every thought, speech, and action has two options, comes from the attitude, either by the consumer attitude, which has an expectation, which always seeks. It wants to receive the way it wants to receive. And the other is, I owe to you. You met me. You start thinking in that way. In what way I owe to you and I can contribute? Done. So what happens? I bypass all my expectations, but at the same time, the existence gives the reward that is much more greater and deeper than we can expect. Sometime you wanted to earn $1,000, say for example, and it might have happened many a times that you got 5,000. You never thought of it. That was because of the gratefulness. That was because you are a contributor. That is why you got it. And we think, oh, I got it, Oh, it's my ability. No ability. You tried hard. You wanted to earn a particular sum of the money. You could not. Everyone's had the same experiences in our life. So somewhere we are deeply connected to the existence. And that is what we are exploring. But we need to prepare ourselves. We need to be a seeker to reach to that state. Highest level of karma yoga, you are awakened. But that highest level of a karma yoga takes a long path. Many years to come. So that is why we have 40 steps, not only 2 steps. The greater the ability for you to do the karma yoga, the greater the merits you earn every day in your life. You will discover that every situation is conducive to you, favorable to you. People who have come to you, they are warning you. Why? Because you sensed this guy is over expecting. There is something fishy. So, but you just cool down, you calm down. You say, okay, well, I will think it over. I will think. So you take it so easily and casual.
What happens to, like, you or my master?
Yes, that is an important question. I asked my master, what will happen to me when you will die? Because he is always ready to ask, he is always ready to receive all the crazy questions. and he had a big laugh. He said, you have yet to become a seeker, because the seeker knows master never dies. What is master? Master is a knowledge which is presented as a physical being. But inside the master is a knowledge. Master is known as a guru. And the meaning of the gu word is ignorance. Ru means knowledge. So now when you have a humility towards the master, you have an intense love for the master, that master lives in you all the time. Physical death has no meaning. He lives in you with that knowledge, and I tell you with all humility that he lives in me. What I'm speaking because of him. Yeah. The way I'm expressing because of him, so he never died for me. It may die for others. Who cares?
Gu means ignorance, Ru means knowledge.
Knowledge. Moving from ignorance to the knowledge is Guru. How can you see that Guru dies? And I could see his vision. Sometimes I see him standing here. It is because of your mind. It is because of your mind. As an epitome, as an image, he appears. That sense of humility means the mind is so much pure that these good souls can appear in your heart. We have to do that level of the journey and the practice. One more topic is very relevant. What happens in Karma Yoga at the physical level? With your physical expression, when you go to your parents or you talk to someone, your mind is of a giving nature, of being grateful, and you owe. Your body is totally calm and relaxed. You told me about your event of so-called love affair, and then you kept on thinking that was of a receiving nature. And if you had been in the giving nature, forget about it. So it changes your physical expression. And I can tell you, you will never feel fatigue. You keep your 24/7, you keep that giving nature, body will never be fatigued. It will never be tired.
Why is that? Why?
It is because of the emotional dependence, it drains your energy. It clogs your mind. It is something like that you overeat and the food remains undigested. So whatever we wanted to receive from the world, we could not. It causes the indigestion and sometimes the constipation. It blocks your mind completely. Any blockages of the mind causes you extreme fatigue or any anxiety. That is another reason. Any reaction, any anger. So that is the change at the physical level. What happens at the emotional level? So emotional level, you are always in a giving nature. You don't have an expectation. So it doesn't give you a sense of emotional dependence. So you are free. Oh, she appreciated me too much, let me call her. Why? You want to depend on her. I can give you are young, you might be thinking in that, oh, she appreciated me so much, she is beautiful, let me talk. And why?
Because I want something.
I want something.
Yeah.
Very clear, I want something. No, I want to give something. And if you have something to give, if she has explained you some issues and some challenges, then yes, you are in the mode of giving. What happens in that mode of giving? It builds a relationship. Then she takes totally you in a different way.
Yeah.
But otherwise the same thing will happen as it happened to you in your life a couple of months before. It's going to happen. It now we are repeating. How we are repeating?
And
Uh,
it's like I'm giving because I think that I need. Yeah.
and you see that when you are in a giving mood, the other people, even the nature and the existence connected with you, and you build a relationship. Anxiety has no place. Mind will change. And I told you, you rightly said, again I will say I love you. You have to do it all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Consciously think. How many people have a house at this age? Even in US, you have it. I owe to it.
Yeah.
So when I think in that way, because emotions changes completely, and that will remove the impurity of the mind. Third level is the intellectual level. Now I'm going into the culmination of the karma yoga. What happens? So now what happens at the physical level? You are in the mode of the giving, like the air that we receive. Air gives us, earth gives us, because if the earth is not there, I cannot stand. Forget about it. How can I stand? How can I exist? Space does not exist. I cannot move anything. So when you are into that giving mode, your mind is saturated with the giving mode. You know what happens? Your false ego starts dissolving.
Yeah.
Ego wants to grab. Ego wants to assert. Ego wants to react. Ego wants to fight. Ego wants to claim the pleasure. Ego is full of fear. So you are breaking the ice, you are melting the ice by dissolving the ego internally, that you will not realize now, but after a few weeks and a month you say, oh, what happened? I used to react to my dad, now there is no reaction. Oh, emotional level. That tremendous change comes to you. Third level, intellectual level. Now we are thinking and speaking and acting free from the likes and dislikes. Instantly you recognize. You become aware. You instantly become, oh, no, no, no. Mind, stop it. You change your topic. You make it yourself very easy. Everything is okay. Everything is good. Because you are not getting carried away by the emotional triggers of likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow, hatred and the love, ignorance and egoistic nature, intellectual level. Now, what happens by these three changes when you start working at the physical level, at the emotional level, at the intellectual level? That ignorance causes this false I. False I dissolves. What is left? You are one with the existence. That is known as awakening. That is known as realization. What do you recognize and realize? That consciousness is all pervading, and I am that consciousness. I am pervading in you, yes. That is why Jesus said love is God. If God is present everywhere, God cannot be present with a physical entity. If I say God is present with me, it does not mean that Jesus is physically present within my heart. He is present in the manifestation of the love, manifestation of the wisdom. Understand this. That is that is the first part of the karma yoga.
I was going to ask you a question, but I realized I think I already know the answer.
Because our nature is love.
Correct. Like you say, the sugar can only be sweet.
Yes, you got it. That is, nature is love. Then question that how should I be in the mode of the love all the time? You don't ask. The sugar never asks how can I be sweet in one situation and sour in other situation. It is not possible. My essential nature is this. Done. And that is what the awakening is. That is another way to explain. One more point, let me give one more point to. First, my mind recognizes the existence of the world outside. Then my intellect feels that this world consists of living and the non-living species. That third, I know the world with my knowledge and understanding and experiences based on my perception. Normally what happens, when you live in India and you have a gray hair with a long beard, everyone believes that you are a monk. A wrong notion. Osama bin Laden was also so that comes because of non-thinking. So non-thinking causes a lot of problems. No, I don't want to compare myself with Osama bin Laden anyhow. Third, I know the world with my knowledge. Understanding and experience is one. So it means my interpretation takes place inside my mind based on my past impression, my past knowledge. Then the mind reflects the world with the past experiences, and that is how we started living our life since our birth. He's our dad, she's our mom. Mom should have certain behavior, dad has certain behavior, sibling has certain behavior, and that is how I have to act. I don't think. I don't turn that relationship as a giving nature, and that causes even the problems in our family life. Just check how many things are involved. We are the receivers of the world, people, non-living things, relations, objects. Lot of things we are receiving from the world, but my interpretation in the mind about these things, including the people, is filled with the ignorance. We have to remove the ignorance. My attitude. We are also a giver to the world through our behavior, through our attitude, through our action. The more you give, greater the reward comes. At least the sins are going to be removed. We are known by our actions after all. You see, we are known by our actions. What is action? Action, I think mentally, I behave the particular way, and I act in a particular way. So I'm known by my actions. Dad, okay. At present, I'm not in a mood to listen. So this is your behavior. You are objecting to it. You are reacting to it. Oh, Dad, I'm respecting you, but enough is enough, and I don't want to talk to you. It comes from, this is my behavior, this is my speech and action. It means it has come from inside. You leave the scene. Don't disrespect your parents. keeping that attitude of giving, that you have given birth to me. That I think it's better. I am feeling some headache. I'll talk to you when I come. I will talk about this issue. Finished. Finish it and see how much light you feel, how much calm in the peaceful, calm in the peaceful. We minimize the impact of emotional dependence by following this path. We purify the mind to discover a new level of awareness. We are able to change our behavior and attitude towards people in our personal, professional, social life. You know, when you go to the washroom, it is dirty, you are not aware, and if you do not remain aware for a week, the mind has already picked up this attitude. But when you are of a giving nature, what is giving nature there? It is not clean, let me clean it here and now, just now. So what is going to happen? You are changing your attitude towards even the non-living things. You are able to transcend that emotional dependence. Now the last thing that I want to say, Buddha says the world is suffering. This world created by me of a receiving nature with full of expectation, this world disappears. Otherwise the world as it is the same. Then I see the world is so beautiful, world is so loving, world is so caring. Your dad becomes angry. Thank you, Dad. You internally you are thinking, thank you, Dad. You're helping me to think over what direction I'm taking in my life, and you are helping me to think it over to change the direction of my life. Finished. His anger is gone. You need not to worry about it.